But the cool thing is, though, when he joined, as you remember, this was another one. You notice how all your lineups go like this. When he joined, the team just suddenly had this crazy little run of form. You remember, like, one of the first big events, if you remember, was after the first, like, couple when he just stood in, was like, you went to the NGL one, and I have to explain this to people. NGL was, I guess I'll make the analogy like Blast. It was an alternate circuit that had its own teams. You have a group stage, and then, this is why I say it's a bit like Blast. It wasn't like a giant LAN. It was a small 4-team LAN, because it was in Germany, if people don't know. It was like a rival of ESL. But the cool thing was, if you just made the LAN final, because it was so top heavy, you already made prize money. So the cool thing was, if you just made lands, you're already there. But this was the one where you went and you beat Fnatic, with the real Fnatic, with Forrest and all those fucking guys. Yeah. You guys were beating them, and you got, like, in fact, there's even a screenshot all Lurpus used to pull out when people in CSGO were like, you were shit in one point. There's a screenshot where it is like against Fnatic, and he's like top fragging, and you're like, Forrest has like 8 kills and he has like 14 and something like. By the way, only Lurpus would have that saved on his computer all those years later, or like in a folder.
That's a lot of images.
There you go. But yeah, this must have been a big event, because as we're saying, look, the problem with your team was it was always like, yeah, really good team. You were always like the potential team, you know what I mean? And this was an event where you just did it. You just actually did blow people up the server.
Yeah, I don't know. It might have been just, him bringing good balance, but at the same time, I'm just trying to figure out, like, did we replace Tampa with him? Maybe
this is what, Nasu replaced. Tampa,
so I think he was. I think it was like an upgrade, anyways, like on all fronts, if you will. So, and I think he was a person who could, like, somehow tame Ruid and Conte a little bit, like, because he was experienced, older, and all of this, like, right. They would maybe listen to him a bit more than like the rest of us. So I think he played a big role in there. But I remember we played Fnatic, we won. There's a good video out of it. We're really happy. I can't remember which other teams we played, but I think we played Fnatic in the finals again. And,
yes.
I remember having like a demoralized moment in there as well, because I think we were like really close to winning, and then all of a sudden we were kind of blowing it
right
again.
So it's bringing back the bad memories.
Yeah, and but yeah, we ended up winning, and that was, I think, like the first bigger, or at least the biggest event we had won, like, this state. So that was awesome.
And here's the detail that people will absolutely forget. This is why you got to be the esports historian and all this stuff, mate. Like, it is true. I've got to add this context first. This was a period where, unlike other eras where there'd always be the dominant team, this was where, like, some of the lineups were like changing, and it was kind of like a really wide. It's a bit like CSGO right now, if people don't know. It's pretty wide open. There's maybe 4 or 5 teams that could rise. And so in this period, your team actually became number 1 in the world. Like, you remember this? You won NGL. You went back to Finland and you beat the Finns at like a fucking, I'm going to guess it was like assembly or something, you know. You went to the Aces tournament where you played against like Forza or something. So you beat like the best Russian team at the time. And then you went to WSVG Louisville where like SK was there, Mouse Sports, and these are real teams. Like, you had a little tournament, like you won like 4 little tournaments in a row, like a couple big, one medium. Like, this must have been a nice little period to actually just be winning, not ever have these bad stories at the end of the tournament, right?
No, I mean, that was, probably the best few tournaments in a row that we ever had, as you said. I don't know. Something clicked, like when Nasu joined. All of a sudden, we got a little bit better, which was like the deciding factor in like most of the time. But I remember in Louisville, I think we had like a really good track record against SK, for example. Like they were a good team back then, but like anytime we would face them, we had no, like, we would know that we would win. Like I don't know, we just got like an upper hand against them, and then the other teams, I don't know. At that point, I don't think we had like any team that we could not beat. Like, I can't remember what happened with the Poles, because they were not in NGL.
I don't think they went to these tournaments. Like the problem, if you remember, is they used to have shit internet, so I don't think they could qualify to NGL because it was an online tournament. Like, you guys would have like probably you'd have 11 ping and they'd probably have 40 or something, you know. So yeah, that all worked out for you.
Oh yeah. Well, that must have been it. But I think like for the longest period of time, they were the only team we had so much trouble winning against.
Right.
It's unreal. Like any other team, I don't know if NIP was a thing back then, but like SK, for example, that's a really good example. Like, I remember we would play like train against them almost every month in some tournament. Like, and we would know, like, even if we got 4 rounds as T, we would still win the game. Like, because we were so confident in both playing them and playing the map.
See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.